Hey Blush fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wildflower Lacquer. In today's video we are doing something completely different and looking at part of my ring collection. So if you're here for more nail polish content, that will be of course coming up on my next video, but this time I decided to go over some of my favorite rings. A lot of these you will have seen on camera in my nail polish videos, and I thought it might be fun to tell you guys about them. The majority of these are not necessarily going to be rings that I can show you where to buy. A lot of these I purchased secondhand, whether at thrift stores, eBay, yard sales, etc. And then only a scattering of these are new. So a couple of these did come from ring candles or ring bath bombs. So I'll show you which ones those were because those might be easier to come by eventually. So let's go ahead and just dig in. Oh, and I am ringless for this video because most of the ones that I would have worn for this video are down here. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. This is one of the ones that I think I may have had the longest. This one is definitely one of my favorites. It is a crescent moon and a star. It is marked Mexico and I think actually 925 instead of alpaca. So it is sterling. This one I did sort of splurge on at Goodwill. They were wanting, I think, $14.99 or maybe it was $12.99. Whatever it was more than I would usually spend at Goodwill, and this was a few years ago. However, it's a moon. I've had a thing for moons for quite a while, and I really liked it, so I did splurge on that one. This design I have seen around though, so if you are interested in one like it, definitely check out eBay and just search for Mexico moon ring, and you're most likely going to see at least something similar pop up. As with everything on eBay, you're going to have to sort through a lot of the junk to find the good stuff, but yeah, this one's one that I think you'll be able to find something at least relatively close. The star is a little funky, but this is one that I wear quite a lot and I really like it. This next one is one of my newer rings. I got this on eBay. This one actually needed a really good clean when I got it. It had like some yellowing around the setting of the stone, but it's a really beautiful pink iridescent stone. It's got two CZs on the side and a really pretty like twisted band. This one is marked 925, so it's another silver ring. I definitely have a fondness more for silver than I do for gold, although gold has been slowly growing on me for specific occasions and for specific pieces. It also has a N and 8, which I think might just be the size, but I'm not sure about the AN. But I thought the colors on this were absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I spent very much on this one. I think maybe about 15. This one also did come from Goodwill, except it was one of their eBay stores for the local Goodwill in Seattle. So another one that I've been enjoying wearing. This is another fairly new acquisition, but it is a ring that I had been searching for many years. It is the Avon Skeleton Key Ring, and it is silver. There are copies of this ring out there that are not sterling, but I specifically wanted the one that was sterling. Like I said, I have a fondness for sterling. It just looks nice to me. I love how it looks compared to a ring that is not sterling. Even if it's coated in something that is silver color, it just doesn't look the same. I'm not sure how well that's going to come across, but see how shiny it is? Whereas there's this nice patina to the sterling. So this one I did recently find on eBay. I think this one was roughly 30 or 35 after shipping, but that is really a good price for this skeleton key. A lot of the other ones that I was seeing on eBay even were 60 or 70, so I was waiting around for just the right price. Skeleton keys are another item of decor and just a shape that I really like. I like antiques and vintage things, so this was a ring that I really had wanted to add to my collection for many years. You can see maybe the Avon logo there on the inside and the sterling brand, but that's another one that I was really excited to finally add to my collection. This next one I found a couple of months ago at an antique mall near my area. This one is a really beautiful green amber ring. I'm not too sure if it's true amber or if it is a faux green amber, but I really liked the setting. You have these grapes and leaves, a lot of really pretty detailing again on the setting. This one is also marked 925 for sterling, and it just has a really neat design. It's just created really beautifully. There's a lot of attention to detail. So yeah, this is one that fits on my ring finger. More of a statement piece, so a bit on the larger side, but just absolutely gorgeous. And this one, I think at that antique store was, oh goodness, now I'm not going to remember. Maybe it was $20, which I thought was a steal. Next up is one of the rings that I've had for many, many years. I found this at a yard sale back in California, and this is a Dichroic Glass piece. I'm not sure if most of the details of this are going to come across on camera, but look at that blue. And this is an older piece for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this went back to like the 1920s, but I'm not too certain on that. This one does say MK Sterling. And this design I do attribute to an older piece, but again, I'm not an actual jeweler professional, but I have picked up tidbits of information here and there over the years. So the cabochon of that Dichroic glass is really, really gorgeous. This one was $8, $7 or $8 at the yard sale, which at the time when I was like 16 or however old I was when I got this, I thought was quite a lot for a yard sale, but I am really glad that I did splurge and get it. I don't have too many other pieces that have these vintage or maybe even antique at this point Dichroic glass cabochons, and this one is one of my favorites. I really love the blue color on this one. It's really gorgeous. And then of course you have the gold and orange flashes in there. I feel like on camera it's really not doing this one justice, but that one was one of the ones that I've had for the longest. Next up is another ring that I had been looking for a long time. Not so much this specific design, but this stone. This is called Dragon's Breath, and it is an older cabochon. They do make modern Dragon's Breath, but I was specifically looking for an older piece. The setting is another really pretty sterling, and it is marked on the back of the setting. I will say in person, I was a little bit underwhelmed. On camera, it is coming across beautifully with that flash, but there is a dullness to the face of the stone that I wasn't expecting from the pictures. This is another one that I did find on eBay. So when I got it in person, I wasn't really expecting this dullness on the surface, which again is not really coming across, but it is a really beautiful ring. I think I might just eventually get a different style of this stone, but Dragon's Breath is a type of ring that I have been wanting for many, many years, probably going back further than getting that Dichroic glass piece. So this is one that I do enjoy wearing though. Another beautiful vintage piece. And I think that one was the most expensive thus far. I think that one I did splurge on and spend about $60 to $70. This next one is another piece that I got within the last year. This one, I'm not actually sure if this is a real stone or not. It might be glass, but I had been looking for a smoky quartz ring for years. And most of the time when I saw a smoky quartz ring, I just wasn't that drawn to the cut of the stone or the setting that it was in. But I love the 4 prongs of this emerald cut, like wide emerald cut stone. They look kind of like claws. And then check out the detailing on the rest of the band. That is stunning. And in person it's even better because there's so much more details to all of the details, if that makes any sense. Like it's like lace work, except it's in silver. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, you can see here that it's not just your normal prong settings. They are more like little claws, and I absolutely love that detail. This one, I think I only spent about $15, which I thought was a steal. This reminds me of like a reproduction Victorian piece, which I absolutely love. This is another silver piece. It is marked there on the band. I absolutely love the setting on it. The next one is another fairly recent acquisition on eBay. This is a foil glass opal in a sterling setting. This was one that I jumped on really fast when I saw it. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. Again, you have a beautiful sterling setting. This one is stamped sterling 925 with a manufacturer initial MFG. I really love the scalloped detailing on this one and the milkiness of this opal is really, really pretty. This is one that I've been wearing quite a lot as well. I really, really enjoy this one. This one I think was also pretty nicely priced on eBay, maybe $25. But I did not spend a lot on this one. I was really, really impressed with the price on that store and really happy to add another really gorgeous sterling detailed ring to my collection. And like I said, this is one that I wear quite a lot. The next one is actually one that I wear as a wedding ring replacement. I do still have my wedding ring, but we'll talk about that in a second. So this is one that I have worn as a replacement. It's just a Faux Cz ring, but I really like the details that are on it. You have this sort of a baguette and then a round diamond, and then you have the princess cut in the center. This one is marked 925, but it is like electroplated in something else. So you have a mix of the duller sterling with the coating of whatever plating they put on top of it to make it look more fancy. This one I don't remember where I got it. It could have come in a big lot of jewelry that I got, because I don't remember specifically picking it out necessarily, but it is one that I will wear as a wedding ring replacement. It is really fancy and pretty. Sometimes I'll wear it with a band next to it, like something like this. But yeah, it looks really nice and just fits me better than my wedding ring. So there was that one. Next up is another one that I got on eBay, this one a few years ago. This specific store seems to specialize in rings that are reproduced from Victorian and other antique molds. So this one looks a lot older than it actually is. It is a newly cast ring. So this one does have a beautiful antique looking setting. And then you have these little tiny stones in there that are the little opals around the main stone, which is like an aquamarine or blue topaz. Then you have more blue topazes for the rest of them. This one I'm pretty sure most of the stones are man-made. I don't think they are naturally mined, based on the price, because this was one that I did get brand new and I don't think I spent very much. I think it was around $20 to $30, and I am tempted to go back and buy a lot more from that store on eBay. I'll try to remember to link that one down below if I can find them again. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous antique looking rings for not antique pricing. So again, I love the little man-made opals that are in there. I think they're just adorable. This one is also marked 925 there on the band. And this next one is another eBay find. As you can tell, I have a thing for eBay. It is a really good place to find things. This one was actually at a store that I haven't been able to find recently. It was something like Grandmother's Attic or Grandmother's something or other. Their pictures were terrible. Like, they showed one blurry image of most of the pieces that they sold. But this one, I could just tell from that one picture that it was a special piece. So I did end up putting on a bid for it, and I don't remember how much I ended up paying for it. This was a few years ago by now, but this is a malachite stone ring in sterling. This is one that I wear quite a lot. I think the design on this is super unique and special. I love this little swoop on either side. The stone itself does need a bit of polish. It is a bit dull compared to what I'm pretty sure it was when the ring was originally produced. There is also a hairline crack right there, but it doesn't seem to have affected how the ring wears. It hasn't gotten worse over the years. Now, this one isn't marked on the band as far as I can tell, but it's sterling. I am fairly certain it is sterling. It wears like sterling and it tarnishes like sterling. So definitely a bargain find. Like I said, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but on this store, I wouldn't have put too high of a bid because there's not really a guarantee of what it was, but one that I really, really like. This next one I found in a local antique store as it was closing. This one is most likely an onyx stone in an emerald cut cabochon, so it's just a flat surface. It's hard for me to tell though, because sometimes these rings could just be black enamel, kind of hard to say, but I thought that this square picture frame setting was really unique. This one is marked silver, I'm fairly certain, yeah, so 925. This is another one that I just think is super, super unique. I have not seen this type of setting in any other ring, and I really like this. It kind of reminds me of Gothic Victorian, so something that I really enjoy wearing as well. The next one I got through a trade with one of my good friends in California, and this is one that I enjoy wearing quite a lot as well. It is a wraparound feather ring, has a lot of amazing detail on it. This one is also marked 925 with the maker's initials in there. I don't know where she got it, but I absolutely love this one. I see quite a lot of more modern leaf or feather wrap rings, but they don't have nearly the amount of detail that this one does have. So I really, really like this one. It's another one of my absolute favorites. Next up is another eBay find. This is a vintage rose with some marcasite and garnet. This was another one that I wouldn't have spent too much on. It was a few years ago, so I don't remember the exact pricing, but I would guess roughly $15 to $20. And this one I'm guessing might be a bit older. It is missing some of the marcasite stones, but I still wear it. You don't really notice it too badly. And I love this sort of cabbage rose design. I think it's really gorgeous. And this is it on the back side. Pretty sure this one is older. And this one does have the 925 mark on it as well. And this is another one that I wear quite frequently. I think it's just gorgeous. Next up is one of my turquoise ring finds. I think this one might have been in eBay, but I honestly don't remember because I love turquoise. It's been one of my favorite stones for decades. It's just, I love it. I can't even describe why. Maybe it's oceany. I'm not sure. But this one is a really beautiful and unique setting on it. The stone is a really pretty like aqua with that veining on it that is like a tan color. The setting on it around it has a lot of beautiful detailing. And then here's the underside. This is another one that I don't think is technically marked, but I am fairly certain it is sterling. Just love how unique this one is, and I do wear this one quite a lot as well. So like I said, I don't remember where I got this or the price of it, but I'm a bargain hunter, so I probably wouldn't have spent too much. Next up is another one of the rings that I wear as a wedding ring replacement. This one did come out of a bath bomb, so probably Charmed Aroma for this one. If you are not familiar with what a bath bomb is, basically it is a bath product that you put in your tub that has a little globe. It's not this exactly because I couldn't find two right ends, but it's basically a little plastic orb like this that has a piece of jewelry in it. I stuck with the rings, but I think nowadays you can also find bath bombs that have bracelets or earrings as well, maybe even necklaces. This one might have come out from one of the princess collections or a crown collection. I'm not really sure which, but this has some amazing detail though. Really, really pretty. Obviously a tiara or crown design. The sparkle on these is really gorgeous in person. Very realistic looking too for a wedding ring. And this one, actually I was wrong. This is not Charmed Aroma. This was Fragrant Jewels. There's the little initial, FJ. And is this one of their sterlings? I don't think so. I think a lot of the Fragrant Jewels rings are just like rhodium plated, but just a really beautiful design, and it looks like a much more valuable piece of jewelry than it actually is. Next up is one of my favorite rings. This one is a simple band, but it is carved. It is another sterling piece marked 925. This one was only $10. This one was on a pier somewhere. I don't remember what specific city we were in, but we were in California, and it was at a little vendor's booth. I immediately fell in love with the floral design on it. I thought it was very beautiful. In case you hadn't gathered from my other rings, I love detail. So this detailing, not just of the carved flowers, but of this edging around the band on both sides, really just caught my eye. I absolutely fell in love with it. And for $10, I definitely wanted to bring it home. This is another one that I get quite a lot of wear out of as well. Just adorable. Next up is one of the costume pieces. I think maybe one of the only true junk costume pieces from this first video. The reason I included this one is it is easy for you guys to find and one that I wear frequently on my videos. This one came from Shein, and I think I spent like $2 on it, if that. It's really, really sparkly. It's just a cheap rhinestone. As you can see, it's not really even in the setting, it's just glued on, but the colors on it are very, very beautiful. And this is one of the rare instances where I did decide to go for the gold. I don't remember if this one had the option for silver, but sometimes with certain stones, I think they look really nice with the gold setting. So I did end up grabbing this one from Shein. If it is still available, I'll try to remember to post that in the description down below. But it's a really fun costume piece and a bargain for just $2 if you want to prevent this from turning your fingers any colors, which I haven't had it do so far. You can sort of line the inside with clear nail polish for just a couple bucks. Nice, fun little piece. Next up is one of the cheapest rings that I have and one of the more recent finds. I did find this at Goodwill with a friend of mine. This one came as a duo. They obviously didn't think it was worth very much, and it came with the one that we're going to look at next for $2.99. And this one is, I think, rhodium plated, although it does say sterling on the band. This is one that I'm fairly certain is an older piece as well. It does fit me very, very nicely, and I love the tiny, dainty little emerald stone. I'm fairly certain it's not a real emerald. I'm sure it's just a glass or a faux emerald, but it's just a really cute, fun, dainty piece. And for $1.50, I was really happy to find something so cute that fit me for such an affordable price. So there's that little guy. And then the one that they had attached it to was this rose here. This is the ring that had actually caught my eye in the showcase, and the reason why I asked to see it. At the time, I didn't realize that they were selling them as a bundle. This one I'm pretty sure was a hand cast item. It has these two little settings on the side that don't look like they ever actually had a stone in them. They don't have a stone in them currently, but like I said, it doesn't look like something just fell out. My guess is maybe this casting didn't come out as the maker intended it, and they never attempted to put a stone in there. There is a little tiny like faux ruby in the center of the rose. I thought the details on this was just beautiful. You also have this really neat leaf design on either side. Just really, really cool and very, very unique. This one also is not marked anything. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was a hand cast item, but it feels and looks like sterling to me, so I would not be surprised if it was cast in sterling. But again, the attention to detail on this I thought was just gorgeous. And again, for $1.50, I mean, wow. I love myself a bargain. So that was another Goodwill find. Next up is another eBay find. This is a cute little owl ring. Owls are another critter that I really, really like, and I had been contemplating like an owl ring of some kind for quite a while, and when I saw this one, I really liked the design. I actually liked this one better, so we're going to pull out a bonus ring here, but this one didn't fit me as well. I did like the spread wings of this one. Each of these was about $15, and they're both marked sterling. So this one has the 925 mark on the wing, and then this one has it on the band. I think I got them from the same store, but this is the one that I've ended up wearing more frequently. Really like the design, and the details on that little owl is just adorable. Next up is the ring that I wear the most as a replacement wedding ring. This one I'm fairly certain came out in the Charmed Aromas bath bomb. Love the combination of the white gold and the rose gold, although some of the rose gold is rubbing off on that little ribbon setting detail. This one does have a crack right down the center of that stone. I think there you can sort of see that line, but it's still wearable. It's another time where the crack doesn't seem to have gotten any worse over the course of many years of me wearing this. But really pretty design. Again, most people that see this think that it's a real setting, that it's a real wedding ring. I often will pair this with that secondary little piece here, and it looks like a real wedding set. Much more expensive than what it was. I mean, this little tiny one here, the layered piece, came from eBay. I think I spent like $2 or $3 on it, and the main ring came from Charmed Aroma. If you buy it in a candle, the candle ranges from like $29.99 to $39.99, and the bath bombs are usually $15 to $20. So yeah, this one I think is one of their sterling marked pieces, although I think there was something that came out with Charmed Aroma and they realized that the manufacturer that they were getting rings from were claiming that they were 925 and marking them as such, but they weren't really. So I actually don't know if this is silver or not. It doesn't react to the magnet, but there are a few metals that don't react to magnets. But the point being is this is one of the rings that I wear quite a lot as a wedding replacement. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Next up is another one of my favorite rings. This is another fake opal. I love opals. I really like the attention to detail again on this one. The different sizes of the round stones around it I think are really gorgeous. This one is also marked 925. I was struggling to remember if this was a Fragrant Jewels or a Charmed Aroma. I don't really remember. If it wasn't, it might have come from eBay, but it's just a stunning one. Really like this one. It could have come from a number of the jewelry candles. I bought quite a lot of fake opal jewelry from all of the different bath bomb companies when I was very much into them. So this could have come from a number of companies, but really like the attention to detail on this one and the larger round sized opal in this one. I mean, look, the size on this one is quite impressive. Next up is one that I know came from Fragrant Jewels. This is in their satin collection. These are Swarovski crystals set in sterling. I kind of came late to the game to these satins. I think they had originally released before I became aware of Fragrant Jewels. So I ended up getting this later on in the game, but it is one of the colors that I really like. It is a really pretty dark blue. Almost has like a pinch of teal to it. You have a really nice basket setting, so really nice attention to detail. I do have a few more of their satins. I might show those off in part 2 if you guys like this type of video enough. I know this is very much outside of nail polish, but there's the little marking there on the ring. So those were the ones that I wanted to show you from my collection. I thought we would wrap it up with my wedding ring, which is the only piece of fine jewelry that we're going to be looking at. This one is my wedding ring, and it does still have the potential to fit over my knuckle, except I am worried that it will not come off. I did have it sized down when we got married, and it fit me beautifully then. We did find this at a pawn shop, and they sized it down for me. But even when we were living in Reno, it was starting to get a little bit tight on this finger. Obviously in Nevada you have a very dry climate, and when we moved here to the Pacific Northwest, we had a lot more humidity in the air, and my body just sucked in all of the moisture and my ring finger got quite swollen. So it was actually very painful to have this on with that sudden change in moisture in the air. So I finally struggled to get it off, and I haven't put it on since. I have been terrified to get it stuck on my finger. So for the past 7 years? 7 years? Has it been that long? 7 years. I think it's been 7 years. I have not worn my wedding ring. We've considered getting it sized. I suppose we could try to size it, but I think the price of gold has skyrocketed quite a lot. I think it would cost quite a lot of money to get that resized, but we'll see if I eventually do get it sized. But in any case, there's the wedding ring. Alright, so that wraps up what might be part 1 of my ring collection. If you guys like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below about which one was your favorite. That way I know you guys like this sort of content as well. I've been a jewelry collector for even longer than I've been a nail polish collector, so this is sort of my first love, not just rings but jewelry in general. If you have other hobbies outside of nail polish, let me know down below what they are. And if you are coming to this channel as a jewelry lover, if you also like nail polish, make sure to check out my other content. All of my other content thus far is nail polish related. So hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in that next one.